If unidentified drones can loiter for hours over one of America's most sensitive bomber bases, and then show up over the Army post where the Secretary of State and Secretary of Defense live, this is no longer just a strange drone story. It is a homeland defense story. And the real concern is not just that these aircraft got in, it is that they may have been testing how the United States responds when they do. In this video, we're going to break down what happened at Barksdale Air Force Base, why the incident at Fort McNair matters, and why these two cases together suggest a much bigger problem than a one-off airspace violation. Let's start with Barksdale because that is the incident that really changes the conversation. According to reporting based on an internal briefing reviewed by ABC News, unidentified drones flew over Barksdale Air Force Base in multiple waves from March 9th through March 15th. Not once, not briefly. Multiple waves over multiple days for roughly 4 hours at a time. And not just around the perimeter. The reporting says they flew over the flight line and other sensitive areas. That matters because Barksdale is not just another installation. It is one of America's most important bomber bases. So if unidentified aircraft can operate there repeatedly, that is a serious breach on its own. But the details make it more concerning. The aircraft reportedly showed non-commercial signal characteristics, long-range control links, resistance to jamming, and deliberate maneuvering. ABC also reported that investigators believe the drone lights may have been used to test security responses. That is a very different picture than some hobby drone drifting where it should not be. That looks a lot more like probing. And that distinction matters because random trespass and deliberate probing are two very different problems. Then you add Fort McNair. In Washington, officials also detected unidentified drones over Fort McNair, the Army post where Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth live. Reuters, citing Washington Post reporting and people briefed on the matter, said the drones were seen over the base on a single night within the previous 10 days, and officials still had not determined where they came from. Now, Fort McNair does not appear to match Barksdale in duration or scale. But that is not really the point. The point is that you now have two publicly reported drone incursions over highly sensitive U.S. military installations during wartime conditions. The pattern is not that drones are swarming every military base in America. The stronger conclusion is that since the U.S. campaign against Iran began on February 28th, the military has moved to a heightened homeland security posture. On March 2nd, Northcom ordered heightened security at all U.S. military installations in the United States. That included 100% ID checks at gates, more inspections, and suspension of the Trusted Traveler program. There were also other base security incidents during this same period. MacDill Air Force Base went into shelter in place twice. Joint Base McGuire-Dix Lakehurst raised its security level after a suspicious package. Shepherd Air Force Base investigated another incident as well. Now, to be clear, those are not the same thing as confirmed drone penetrations. But taken together, they do show a broader military system on edge, hardening while unexplained aerial incursions remain unresolved at two of the most sensitive posts. And this is where the policy question gets harder. The Pentagon's February counter-UAS fact sheet says commanders now have unambiguous authority to mitigate threat drones and are specifically authorized to treat unauthorized surveillance as a threat. But the public record from March shows repeated drone activity over Barksdale and a separate penetration at Fort McNair, with no visible demonstration that those broader authorities resulted in decisive interdiction. Now, the military would argue that restraint is not weakness. Counter-drone systems do not always work, especially against aircraft that appear custom-built. And in domestic airspace, bringing down a drone creates obvious risks depending on where it falls and what is below it. Those are real constraints, but critics are also entitled to ask a fair question. If commanders truly had broader authority, why did repeated incursions at a major strategic airbase continue long enough for operators to gather data, test responses, and leave? Allowing them to leave with that info is its own loss. Now, there are important guardrails here. There is no public evidence from these incidents alone that an attack on the homeland is imminent. There is also no public evidence that Iran has been identified as the operator, but none of that means the incidents should be dismissed. The strongest factual line right now is this. There are two publicly reported domestic-based drone incidents during the Iran war. The Barksdale case looked consistent with deliberate probing. And the bigger strategic problem is the message these overflights may be sending. Every unresolved penetration tells hostile states the same thing. Even after Ukraine and the Middle East, the U.S. homeland may still have seams that can be found from the air. That is why Barksdale matters. That is why Fort McNair matters. And that is why this is no longer just a strange incident in Louisiana. It is a test of whether the United States is prepared for the kind of cheap, persistent aerial surveillance modern adversaries now treat as standard. If you want more clear, fact-based breakdowns on drone security, defense policy, and what these developments actually mean, subscribe and turn on notifications. Keep following the channel for practical analysis and clear updates as this story develops.